Hello students, welcome back. Today we will be practicing year 2016 paper 1's child development and psychology questions. Before we begin, we have an important announcement for you all. So we are about to launch the special Anganwadi exam supervisor course. Okay, so the duration of course is from 26th of August 2020 to 30th of November 2020. The course timings will be from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. and it will be taken through Zoom app and WhatsApp. Okay. For more details regarding the special Anganwadi exam course, you can note down the following numbers. Okay, so now we will begin with our questions of Child Development and Psychology, year 2016. First question. As a teacher who firmly believes in social constructivist theory of Lev Vygotsky, which of the following methods would you prefer for assessing your students? Option A, collaborative projects. Option B, standardized tests. Option C, fact-based recall questions. Option D, objective multiple choice type questions. Okay, you can guess an answer. Alright, so option A is the correct answer, collaborative projects. Next question. To cater to individual differences in the classroom, a teacher should A. Have uniform and standard ways of teaching and assessment. B. Segregate and label children based on their marks. C. Engage in a dialogue with students and value their perspectives. D. Impose strict rules upon students. So the correct answer is option C. Engage in a dialogue with students and value their perspectives. Next question. Assessment is purposeful if A. It induces fear and stress among the students. B. It serves as a feedback for the students as well as the teachers. C. It is done only once at the end of the year. D. Comparative evaluations are made to differentiate between the students' achievements. The correct answer is option B. It serves as a feedback for the students as well as the teachers. So, if assessment serves as a feedback, then it is purposeful. Next, according to the National Curriculum Framework 2005, the role of a teacher has to be A. Authoritative, B. Dictatorial, C. Permissive, or D. Facilitative. So the correct answer is option D, facilitative. A teacher has to be a facilitator, just a guide and a support to the child. Fifth question. Research suggests that in a diverse classroom, a teacher's expectations from her students dash their learning. Option A, have a significant impact on. Option B, are the sole determinant of. Option C, should not be correlated with. Option D, do not have any effect on. Let's check the correct answer. It's option A, have a significant impact on. So, the teacher's expectations are very important in the process of learning. They have an important impact. Next, inclusion of children with special needs. Option A is an unrealistic goal. Option B is detrimental to children without disabilities. C will increase the burden on schools. Or D requires a change in attitude, content, and approach to teaching. Yes, you are right. It's D. The correct answer is D. Inclusion of children with special needs requires a change in attitude, content, and approach to teaching. Next, having a diverse classroom with children from varied social, economic, and cultural backgrounds enriches the learning experience of all students. This statement is A. Incorrect because it can confuse the children and they may feel lost. B. Correct because children learn many skills from their peers. C. Correct because it makes the classroom more hierarchical. D. Incorrect because it leads to unnecessary competition. Looking at the options, we know the correct answer is B, right? So, having a diverse classroom with children from various backgrounds, this statement is correct because children learn many skills from their peers. Next, a child with hearing impairment A should be sent only to a school for the hearing impaired and not to a regular school. B will not benefit from academic education only and should be given vocational training instead. C can do very well in a regular school if suitable facilitation and resources are provided. D will never be able to perform on a par with classmates in a regular school. So the correct answer is option C. A child with hearing impairment can also do very well in a regular school only if suitable facilitation and resources are provided to the child. Next, which of the following is a characteristic of a gifted learner? A. He gets aggressive and frustrated. B. He can feel understimulated and bored if the class activities are not challenging enough. C. He is highly temperamental. Or D. He engages in ritualistic behavior like hand flapping, rocking, etc. Let's check the correct answer. It's option B. He can feel understimulated. So a gifted learner will feel understimulated and bored if the class activities are not challenging enough. Next, a teacher can enhance effective learning in her elementary classroom by A. Offering rewards for small steps in learning. B. Drill and practice. C. Encouraging competition amongst her students. Or D. Connecting the content to the lives of the students. So the correct answer is option D. Connecting the content to the lives of the students. So as a teacher, we do observe this, right? When we connect the content to the lives of the students, when we give them real life examples which are relating to them, they correlate and they can understand. They then understand better, yes, more effectively. Next, which of the following statements about children are correct? A. Children are passive recipients of knowledge. B. Children are problem solvers. C. Children are scientific investigators. Or D. Children are active explorers of the environment. So let's check our options now. Option A tells us that the correct statements are A, B and D. Option B says B, C and D are correct. Option C says A, B, C and D all are correct. And option D says A, B and C. These three sentences are correct. Now let's check our answer. Answer is option B, which means the statement B, statement C and statement D is correct. So teachers and students, if we our activity based learning and constructivist approach also tells us the same thing, that children are problem solvers, they are investigators and they are explorers. Yes, let's move on to the next question. Which of the following is the most effective method to encourage conceptual development in students? A. New concepts need to be understood on their own without any reference to the old ones. B. Replace the students' incorrect ideas with correct ones by asking them to memorize. C. Give students multiple examples and encourage them to use reasoning. Or D. Use punishment till students have made the required conceptual changes. Okay, so let's check our answer. Answer is option C. Give students multiple examples and encourage them to use reasoning. In this way, we can encourage conceptual development in students. Next, primary school children will learn most effectively in an atmosphere where their emotional needs are met and they feel that they are valued. B. Where the teacher is authoritative and clearly dictates what should be done. C. Where the focus and stress are only on mastering primarily cognitive skills of reading, writing, and mathematics. Or option D, where the teacher leads all the learning and expects students to play a passive role. So the correct answer is option A. Primary school children will learn most effectively in an atmosphere where their emotional needs are met and they feel that they are valued. Okay, next question. A child sees a crow flying past the window and says, "A bird." What does this suggest about the child's thinking? Option A. The child has previously stored memories. B. The child has developed the concept of a bird. C. The child has developed some tools of language to communicate her experience. So now we have the options in front of us. Option A tells that statement A and B is correct. Option B says B and C are correct. That these statements are suggesting us about the child's thinking. Option C says statement A, B and C, all three suggest us about child's thinking. And option D suggests that only B is the statement that suggests us about the child's thinking. Let's check our answer. It's option C. Okay, so option C is over here, which says all the three statements are suggesting us about the child's thinking. Child has previously stored memories, child has developed the concept of a bird, and the child has also developed some tools of language. Let's move on to the next question. What should a teacher tell her students to encourage them to do tasks with intrinsic motivation? Option A, come on, finish it before she does. Option B, why can't you be like him? See, he has done it perfectly. C, complete the task fast and get a toffee. Or option D, try to do it, you will learn. So the correct answer is option D. When a teacher says try to do it, you will learn. When a teacher uses such kind of statements, a child is motivated internally. Yes? So that's the correct answer. Next, how can a teacher encourage her students to be intrinsically motivated towards learning for the sake of learning? A. By inducing anxiety and fear. B. By giving competitive tests. C. By supporting them in setting individual goals and their mastery. D. By offering tangible rewards such as toffees. The correct answer is option C. By supporting them in setting individual goals and their mastery. Next question. In an elementary classroom, an effective teacher should aim at the students to be motivated. A. To learn so that they become curious and love learning for its own sake. B. To rate, memorize so that they become good at recall. C. By using punitive measures so that they respect the teacher. Or D. To perform so that they get good marks in the end of the year examination. The correct answer is option A. To learn so that they become curious and love learning for its own sake. Next, which of the following is an example of effective school practice? Option A. Constant comparative evaluation. Option B. Corporal punishment. Option C. Individualized learning. Or option D. Competitive classroom. The correct answer is option C. Individualized learning. Next, the cephalocaudal principle of development explains how development proceeds from option A. General to specific functions. Option B. Differentiated to integrated function. Option C. Head to toe. Or option D. Rural to urban areas. So if we look at the meaning of the word cephalo, yes, in this word cephalocaudal, cephalo is relating to head or skull, yes, so we have an option of head to toe. With the help of this, the meaning of cephalo, we can identify the correct answer. The correct answer is option C, head to toe. Next, which of the following is a sensitive period pertaining to language development? A. Prenatal period. B. Middle childhood period. C. Adulthood. Or D. Early childhood period. The correct answer is D. Early childhood period. Next, a 6-year-old girl shows exceptional sporting ability. Both of her parents are sportspersons. They send her for coaching every day and they themselves train her on weekends. Her capabilities are most likely to be the result of an interaction between A. Heredity and environment, B. Growth and development, C. Health and training, D. Discipline and nutrition. So here in the question itself, it's saying that the child's parents are also sports persons, so it means heredity comes into picture. In the next it says that the child is sent for coaching every day and the parents also train her. This means she is getting a good environment to learn sports. And so with the help of this, we can identify the correct answer. It's heredity and environment. Option A. Next, which of the following are secondary agents of socialization? A. Family and neighborhood. B. School and neighborhood. C. School and immediate family members. Or option D. Family and relatives. So we have learned that family is a primary socialization, right? The primary agent of socialization, as the child gets an exposure first in the family. He learns from the family. Then comes the school and the neighborhood. So this option will become our secondary agent of socialization. Correct? Option B. Let's check. Yes. Option B is the correct answer. School and neighborhood. Next question. According to Lev Vygotsky, the primary cause of cognitive development is A. Equilibration, B. Social interaction, C. Adjustment of mental schemas, or D. Stimulus response pairing. The correct answer is option B. Social interaction. Next, in the context of Kohlberg's stages of moral reasoning, under which stage would the given typical response of a child fall? So this is the response of the child now. Your parents will be proud of you if you are honest. So you should be honest. This is the typical response of a child. Options. Option A, punishment obedience orientation. Option B, social contract orientation. Option C, good girl, good boy orientation, or option D, law and order orientation. The correct answer is option C, good girl, good boy orientation. Next, according to Piaget, which of the following is necessary for learning? A. Active exploration of the environment by the learner. B. Observing the behavior of adults. C. Belief in immanent justice. Or D. Reinforcement by teachers and parents. Correct answer is option A. Active exploration of the environment by the learner. Next, according to Piaget, schema building occurs as a result of modifying new information to fit existing schemes and by modifying old schemes as per new information. These two processes are known as A. Accommodation and adaptation, B. Assimilation and adaptation, C. Equilibration and modification, or D. Assimilation and accommodation. The correct answer is option D. Assimilation and accommodation. Next question. In a progressive classroom setup, the teacher facilitates learning by providing an environment that A. promotes discovery, B. is restrictive, C. discourages inclusion, or D. encourages repetition. The correct answer is option A. promotes discovery. Next question. Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence (MI) suggests that A. every child should be taught every subject in 8 different ways in order to develop all of the intelligences. B. Intelligence is solely determined by IQ tests. C. Teachers should use multiple intelligence as a framework for devising alternative ways to teach the subject matter. Or D. Ability is destiny and does not change over a period of time. The correct answer is option C. Gardner's theory suggests us that teachers should use multiple intelligence as a framework for devising alternative ways to teach the subject matter. Next, a 5-year-old girl talks to herself while trying to fold a t-shirt. Which of the following statements is correct in the context of the behavior displayed by the girl? Option A. Piaget and Vygotsky would explain this as egocentric nature of the child's thoughts. Option B. Piaget would explain this as egocentric speech, while Vygotsky would explain this as the child's attempt to regulate her actions through private speech. C. Piaget would explain this as social interaction, while Vygotsky would explain this as an exploration. Or option D. Piaget and Vygotsky would explain this as the child's attempt to imitate her mother. The correct answer is option B. Piaget would explain this as egocentric speech and Vygotsky would explain this as child's attempt to regulate her actions through private speech. Next question. Gender is A. biological entity, B. physiological construct, C. innate quality, or option D. social construct. So the correct answer is option D. Gender is a social construct. Alright, so we are done for today. We have practiced 30 questions of year 2016 paper 1's Child Development and Psychology.